Hey guys, it's me, and today I'm going to be doing a review on my beautiful New Moon book, which I absolutely adore to death. Basically this book is 563 pages long, 25 chapters including the epilogue, and it is the second book in the Twilight saga, which consists of Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, and Breaking Dawn. Okay, so like I said, second book in the series, and if you guys watch my Twilight video, which is on the sidebar, which I will put on this side, watch that video. I got the 4-pack for Christmas, which has all 4 books in it. Really amazing. It comes with these cool little bookmark thingamajigs. Really cool. Okay, so basically I'm just going to sum up this whole book for you. So, if you don't want to know what happens, click out of the video. Okay, if you guys are still here, obviously you want to know what happens. So I'm just want to let you know this book is very, very sad. I actually cried, believe it or not. And I don't really cry at stuff. And I cried. Because if you're really into the book and you really love it, I think you're gonna cry, especially you're gonna cry. So in the beginning, of course, Edward and Bella are together, and in the second chapter, Edward starts getting funky. He's just not I don't know, he just acts really weird. So Bella one day asks him what's wrong, and he wants to talk to her and everything. So they meet up in the woods, and Edward just basically says that he doesn't want to be with Bella anymore, which he's lying. He loves her to death, but he doesn't think he's good enough for her. So basically, Edward doesn't think he's good enough for Bella. He wants her to find someone human and stuff. So he moves, and his family moves to somewhere, and they basically have no more contact with Bella. So Bella is distraught. She's in a massive depression. She was in depression 3 months after Edward left. So she remembers that her dad's best friend Billy has a son Jacob, and they hung out in the last book a couple times. And she decides to hang out with him. So they're hanging out, and they find motorcycles and stuff, and they decide to fix them up. Because Bella remembers Edward's last words, which were, "Don't be reckless." And of course, Bella's going to try to be reckless to bring back Edward. So Jacob and her are hanging out. They're spending a lot of time together, and they're becoming best friends. But Jacob likes her more than that. But Bella just likes them as best friends. They're spending a whole bunch of time together, and they're riding the motorcycles and everything, and Bella gets hurt a lot. So one day, in the middle of the book, Jacob too starts getting weird. So Bella doesn't understand why everyone's getting weird. So she talks to him, and he basically is not returning her phone calls and stuff. They won't hang out anymore. She's always hanging out with his other friends. So one day, Bella's freaking out on Jacob, and then he wants her to guess what's wrong with them. So then Jacob tells Bella that he's a werewolf. So basically, she doesn't have any friends that are humans. Edward's a vampire. He's a werewolf. So, and in the region lately, a lot of people are being killed. So they're thinking it's a gigantic wolf, which of course it's not. It's Victoria who's back to kill Bella because Edward killed James, which is her mate or her love, whatever. So yeah, she's back to kill Bella. And werewolves can kill vampires. So of course, Jacob's tribe is trying to catch her and kill her and stuff. So to make it up to her, Jacob promises Bella to go cliff diving because he feels bad, and she always wanted to go cliff diving, to be reckless, to bring back Edward. So in the middle of going there to be cliff diving, they finally arrived and stuff, and Jacob says his tribe sensed Victoria, so he leaves, and Bella's standing there, so she decides to jump, and she's hearing Edward's voice and everything, and she's basically drowning, and the waves are knocking her over and stuff. So she's drowning, and her last words "Bye, Edward, I love you," and stuff. So then she wakes up, and she's on stable ground, she's breathing and everything, and Jacob jumps in and saves her. So she apologizes to him, and they go back to her house, and someone calls, and it's Carlisle. And Jacob answers the phone, he's being real cocky, he's like, "Who's this?" And Carlisle's like, "It's Carlisle." And he goes, "Where's Charlie?" And Jacob's like, "He's at the funeral." And Alice predicts the future. If you guys remember that from the first book, if you read it, she predicts the future. So Alice predicted that Bella died. So Carlisle immediately thinks that Bella is dead and Charlie's at the funeral. So Edward, of course, cannot live without Bella. He goes to Italy to visit the other vampires, which are the Volturi, which are good vampires as well. And he wants to find a way for them to kill him because he can't live without Bella. So basically, he's really upset, can't live without her and stuff. So he's trying to find a way for them to kill him. So Alice visits Bella just to make sure she's dead, and of course she's not. So they're talking stuff, and Alice is like hugging her and stuff. So then she says that Edward's going to go try to kill himself, and Bella starts to start crying. So they try to go to Italy, and Bella leaves Jacob. So they go to Italy, and they stop Edward, which is good. And then the whole family comes back to Forks, and Bella is basically torn up between Jacob or Edward. Basically torn up between Jacob and Edward because she loves them both. And werewolves are more enemies of vampires, so she doesn't know who to choose. Of course, she loves Edward. So the Volturi promised Edward that they could let Bella go if she becomes a vampire too. And Bella wants to become a vampire because she wants to spend the rest of her life with Edward. So Edward promises to turn her into a vampire in 3 days if she marries him. And Bella's really scared of commitment, so she doesn't do that, and she decides to turn into a vampire at the end of the school year by Carlisle. But she's a senior and she wants to finish school. So that's basically how the book leaves off, and she loves Edward and everyone's back and it's all happy again, and I'm so happy that happened. So basically that's what the whole book is about, and at the end she's torn up between Jacob and Edward. That's really what happens. So in the beginning the book is a little slow. It's the best in the middle and the greatest in the end. So you guys definitely have to read this. 5 out of 5 stars. Stephanie Meyer is amazing for coming up with this stuff, and I love it. And thank you guys for watching this review. I hope you read this book. You need to catch all the great details and stuff. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later.